Can we just take a breath for a second? I mean, seriously, can we just pause and look at what is unraveling right in front of our eyes? Because if you are anything like me, you are sitting there staring at the news, staring at the reports, and thinking, we knew it. We all knew it, didn't we? There has been this collective feeling, this gut instinct that we have all shared for years, whispered in the comment sections, talked about quietly amongst ourselves because the mainstream media called us crazy. They called us conspiracy theorists. They told us we were just being hateful. But now the floodgates are opening, and the truth, the absolute, shocking, earth-shattering truth, is starting to spill out faster than Meghan Markle can call her lawyers. We are talking about the hysterectomy rumors. We are talking about the surrogacy questions. We are talking about the biggest potential fraud ever perpetrated on the British people, the monarchy, and frankly, the entire world. And today we need to talk about it because the silence is finally breaking. Now I know you guys are excited for more, but before we delve into further discussion, if you haven't subscribed, come on guys, what are you waiting for? Hit like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell ASAP. So now let's get right into the thick of it. The rumor that has been circulating for the longest time, the hysterectomy at age 28. For years, people have whispered about this. It circulated in the background, dismissed by the sugars and the mainstream press as absolute nonsense. But think about it. If that medical history is true, if that actually happened, then everything we have been fed about Archie and Lilibet, every single photo, every single pregnancy moment, every hand-on-the-bump photo op, was a performance. A calculated, Oscar-worthy performance designed to swindle the United Kingdom and secure a place in the line of succession for children who, by law, might not even be eligible. And that is the crux of it, isn't it? It's not just about biology, it's about the crown. It's about the integrity of our beloved royal family. It is about King Charles and Prince William being lied to their faces, by a woman who sees the monarchy as nothing more than a cash cow and a stepping stone for her own celebrity status. And poor Harry. Well, I say poor Harry, but let's be honest, he is just as culpable. He was outside those stables, remember? Remember that bizarre announcement? He was standing there, bouncing on his heels, looking nervous, looking like a man who was trying to memorize a script. He told us he was present for the birth. He told us it was amazing. But looking back now, with everything we are hearing, doesn't it feel off? Doesn't it feel like he was trying to sell us a used car that he knew had no engine? He was proudly announcing this child as coming out of Meghan's body, selling this narrative to the world, while potentially holding on to a secret that could destroy his entire reputation. If the surrogacy rumors are true, then Harry wasn't just a bystander. He was the co-conspirator. He was the one looking the British public in the eye and lying. And for what? To appease Meghan? To stick it to his family? To ensure that his children got titles that they might not have been entitled to if the truth about a surrogate had been revealed. We have to talk about Samantha Markle. You know, for years, the media tried to paint Samantha as the bitter, jealous sister. They tried to discredit her, silence her, make her look like she was just out for money. But look at what is happening now. Samantha is speaking up, and she isn't sounding bitter. She is sounding vindicated. She isn't screaming. She is pointing to the timeline. And the timeline, my friends, does not lie. The timeline is the one thing Meghan cannot Markle. Samantha has been pointing out the inconsistencies for ages. She noted, very calmly, that the physical progression of the pregnancy just didn't align with reality. The bump size changing from day to day? We all saw it. One day she was massive, the next day she was practically flat, and then she was huge again. That doesn't happen in nature. That happens in a wardrobe department. Compare that to our lovely Catherine, the Princess of Wales. When Catherine was pregnant, we saw the natural progression. We saw the toll it took on her body, the swelling, the way she carried herself. She has a long torso, and the baby bump was contained, natural. Meghan? It was like a prop that shifted depending on the camera angle. And let's not forget the squatting. I have spoken to so many mothers, so many women who have been through the grueling reality of late-stage pregnancy. You do not squat down in heels with your knees together and pop back up like a gymnast when you are 8 months pregnant. You just don't. It's physically impossible for most women because there is a baby in the way. But Meghan did it. She moved with an ease that raised eyebrows back then, and now, looking back, it looks less like yoga proficiency and more like there was simply nothing there to impede her movement. And then there is the moon bump factor. We have all seen the videos, the one where the bump seems to fold, the one where it seems to sway. The media told us it was the wind. They told us it was the fabric. They gaslit us into thinking we weren't seeing what our own eyes were telling us. But now, as these rumors about a hysterectomy gain traction, those videos take on a whole new, sinister light. It wasn't a wardrobe malfunction, it was a costume malfunction. It was the masks slipping, and if Samantha Markle is hinting that the truth is worse than we imagined, we need to brace ourselves. We are not just talking about a fake bump, we are talking about a hidden timeline, hidden surrogates, and a level of deceit that rivals a spy novel. Let's discuss the hospital situation because this is where the official story completely falls apart. Every royal birth in modern history has followed a protocol. Not because the royals are stuffy, but because the public pays for them, and the public has a right to know the line of succession is legitimate. We saw the doctor's signatures for George, Charlotte, and Louis. We saw the medical team. We saw the easel at Buckingham Palace with the full details. With Archie? Nothing. Silence, confusion. We were told she was in labor after she had already given birth. We were told they went to a hospital, but no one saw them go in or come out. No doctors went on record. No senior physicians signed off on it in the traditional public way. Why? Why the secrecy? Meghan screamed privacy at the top of her lungs. But there is a difference between privacy and secrecy. Privacy is not wanting photographers in your delivery room. Secrecy is hiding the names of the doctors because maybe, just maybe, those doctors didn't deliver the baby from your body. If you use a surrogate, that is your choice, and plenty of people do it, and it is a beautiful way to have a family. But you cannot use a surrogate and then claim the child is of the body to secure royal titles and a place in the line of succession. That is the fraud. That is the lie. That is the betrayal. If they had just been honest, if they had said we're using a surrogate, the public might have been supportive. But they couldn't do that, could they? Because Meghan needed the myth. She needed the Diana moment. She needed to be the mother on the steps, even if she had to skip the steps and hide the doctors to do it. And this brings us to the mysterious DL and the demands for a DNA test. This is getting serious now. This isn't just internet gossip anymore. There are reports, there are whispers that legal challenges are being prepared, that people are drafting requests to the Canadian Parliament, to the British Parliament, demanding that the succession laws be amended or enforced. The demand is simple: proof. Proof that these children are biologically eligible to be prince and princess. Proof that they were born of the body. A simple DNA test would solve everything. It would shut us all up in 5 minutes. If Meghan carried those children, if everything is above board, why not release the medical records? Why not do the test and humiliate all the critics? The fact that they won't, the fact that they fight tooth and nail to keep everything sealed, speaks volumes. Innocence doesn't need to hide behind lawyers. Truth doesn't need to be managed by a PR team in California. The truth just is. And right now, the truth looks like it is hiding in a vault somewhere, terrified of coming out. We are hearing about the palace potentially panicking. And honestly, they should be. If this comes out as a confirmed fact, it is a constitutional crisis. It means the King and the Prince of Wales were deceived. It means the British public was mocked. It means titles were bestowed based on a lie. I truly believe that the palace knew something was wrong. Remember the christening photos? The tension? The way William and Catherine looked? Catherine, our elegant, perfect Princess of Wales, looked stiff. She looked uncomfortable. She was wearing pink in a photo that looked oddly edited, almost as if she was signaling something. And the Queen? Oh, our late great Queen. Did she know? Was she protected from the full extent of this deceit? It breaks my heart to think that in her final years she had to deal with this circus. The fraud of the century happening right under the royal roof. And where is Doria in all of this? The missing years, the silence, and then suddenly she is the only family member present. Some theories suggest she was managing the surrogate situation, that she was the point person. It's all so murky. It's all so hidden. And that is what makes it so believable. If this was a straightforward pregnancy, we would have stories about morning sickness that didn't change every 5 minutes. We would have a birth story that made sense. Instead, we have Harry talking about eating Nando's and using up the laughing gas while Meghan bounced on a ball. It sounds like a bad sitcom script, not a royal birth. It sounds like a distraction. The swindle isn't just about the titles, it's about the emotional manipulation. Meghan played the vulnerable mother card so hard. She used it to shield herself from criticism. Oh, you can't criticize me. I'm a new mother. But if she wasn't actually recovering from a birth, if she hadn't just pushed a human being out of her body, then that shield was made of lies. It was a weaponization of motherhood to silence valid questions about her behavior. It is despicable. It is an insult to every woman who has actually gone through childbirth, who has actually dealt with the pain and the recovery and the hormones. To fake that, to cosplay motherhood for clout, it takes a special kind of narcissism to pull that off. And let's look at the behavior now. The desperation. Meghan and Harry are fading. They are becoming the Z-listers we always knew they were. The Spotify deal is gone, the grifters label is sticking, and Hollywood is closing its doors. And as the money dries up and the attention fades, the secrets are going to become currency. People are going to start talking. Non-disclosure agreements have expiration dates, or they get broken when the check bounces. The DL source, whoever they are, is just the beginning. The floodgates are cracking. We are seeing more and more people willing to put their names to these theories, willing to ask the hard questions on public platforms. The palace needs to act. King Charles, we love you, but you need to fix this. You need to protect the line of succession. You need to protect William and George and Charlotte and Louis. You cannot let this lie stand if it is indeed a lie. The people deserve the truth. We deserve to know if we have been played. We deserve to know if the history books are being written with ink or with invisible marker. The invisible children, as some call them, need to be verified. Not out of cruelty to the children, they are innocent in this, but out of respect for the institution that they are now technically a part of. If this hysterectomy story is true, it explains everything. It explains the rush, the secrecy, the weird bumps, the defensive attitude, the rift with the family. It explains why they had to run away to California. Because you can't hide a surrogate mother in Kensington Palace easily, but you can hide a lot of things in a Montecito mansion with high walls and NDAs. It explains the desperation to control the narrative, because if the thread is pulled, the whole tapestry unspools, and what a tangled, messy, deceitful tapestry it is. So I ask you, what do you think? Are you buying the official story, or are you looking at the evidence, looking at the photos, listening to Samantha, and thinking, there is no smoke without a fire? Because from where I am sitting, the smoke is so thick I can barely see the truth anymore. But it's coming. Oh, it is coming. The storm is gathering, and I don't think Harry and Meghan have an umbrella big enough to stop this downpour. I want to hear from you. Seriously, tell me in the comments, do you think the palace knows? Do you think they are waiting for the right moment to cut the cord completely? Or do you think this secret will be buried forever? Drop your thoughts below. Let's get a real conversation going, because the mainstream media won't touch this, but we will. We aren't afraid of the truth. We are the friendly neighbors watching the fence, and we see everything. Like and subscribe if you want to keep peeling back the layers of this royal onion, and I will see you in the next one. Stay sharp, everyone. Ta-ta, and bye for now.